Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Having some technical issues here to start this thing. Hopefully it clears up there. Maybe just didn't like the camera views there, but looks like we're up and going here. Troy Landwork joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. We're here at the Virginia International Raceway, better known as just VIR for short. And this is a track that hasn't gotten a lot of love over the years, but it seems like it's maybe picking up a little bit of steam here in some of these leagues. I know in the Core GT series they've run it a couple times, and now here for CSRL they're going to be picking up here tonight. It is it's a unique track, and it's not exactly a small track either to get around this thing, and it definitely has some complications. But it looks like we're not doing the full circuit that includes the infield. Plain and simple, the infield sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The infield is absolutely horrible, and it should tell you everything you need to know by the hairpin that leads you into the infield. I mean, bitch. And that should tell you everything that you need to know. And that's not me cursing on the broadcast. That's me telling you that's the name of the corner. So
we're about to find Carl.
Yeah, we're gonna bypass said corner here tonight down the backstretch and just set it off. But I mean, some cool names here to some of the corners, as you got easily named in the first corner. You got the hairpin that leads you into NASCAR bend. Left hook, a very, very good one there. The S-turn that leads you down to the back half of the track is, I think, a very aptly named Snake, as you kind of slither back and forth through there. You got South Bend that leads you to the double right-hander known as Oak Tree, and then again we're going to just cruise a nice long backstretch here down to Roller Coaster, which is exactly what it is. It's got a little bit of an S-turn up and over and down, kind of like you're on a roller coaster. And then last corner coming out through turns 17 and 17A, Hog Pen. But one thing that Hog Pen has, it's got a ton of runoff, just like most of this track. There's maybe one or two kind of areas where if you blow it or you get sent off, you can reach the tire barriers, you can reach the walls here. But other than that, I mean, it feels like they just stuck this thing smack dab in the middle of a field.
And pretty much did, Carl. I mean, it's West Virginia. I mean, trying to fit it in between the mountains somewhere up there. It's obviously a technical track, and you're going to see here tonight as they cruise around here. And the drivers really got to kind of be careful. Can't get on the throttle too heavy on a lot of corners. The weight of the car is shifting around, so it's easy to kind of spin out. And it's probably a good thing there's a lot of runoff in a lot of areas. We'll keep these cars a little bit safer. Obviously just losing a butt ton of time here tonight. But yeah, it's 80 degrees outside, and track temps aren't too bad, I don't think. Let's see. Nah, the track is dry, and yeah, track's at 102. It's 80 degrees outside, so not too bad. But drivers are gonna have to 45 minutes to get it done here tonight. We've raced here with the CSRL on the off season, just before they started up this season. I think they were running two different cars at that time, but had a little fun here with the drivers out here. But tonight they come strong with 34 drivers and a few new fellas, or drivers I should say, out there to participate with this awesome league. So looking forward to Carl, see what they can do and get it done here tonight.
Yeah, I'm in the car here, but it won't even let me pull out until I guess the rest of the cars are given the okay. Hopefully it'll let me button, and this just goes through them, and I can give you guys a look around the track here at VIR. But a good, strong 34 car field here tonight. Quick rundown of some of the spots here before we get going. Christopher Hamilton on the pole, Mason Smith, Alex Zart, Craig Jancic, Bryce Reiner, Tyler Torville, Siviani Madrigal, Noah Bourgeois, Dave Tilford, and Jason Phillips for your top 10. Greg Pisano, Steve McLean, Jonathan Ogden, Herbert Pineda, Kyle Cobbler for the top 15. Christian Ortiz-Torres, Javi Sierra, Dan Morera, Trent Blaylock, Devin Young for your top 20. You got Cesar Colon, Jonathan Crane, Todd Torville, Anthony Hutchinson, Jim Dutton for your top 25. As we'll go ahead and give you an idea of what it looks like around VIR here. This is obviously come down into turn number 1. Kind of a tighter hairpin here. You can get late on the brakes, so I gotta get OBS down so I can actually get my better field of vision here. But it's a long hairpin that's more than 180 degrees. and you kind of want to stay to the outside here of turn number 2. Really get out to the outside so you can kind of cut it to the apex. You drift out, use all that green that you want to. Cold tires here won't let me get to the inside, but you want to be more to the inside. Let the car rotate back to the right here, and then it hands you into Snake right here. As you can see, you can grab a decent amount of curb here. It's usually not too terrible, even though there's some kind of bigger curbs. But flat out all the way through here, and I mean, to me, that's kind of baby Snake here. You're going full throttle all the way up through the second part here. Maybe a little bit of brake if the car's feeling unstable, going through the little kink there into South Bend. On cold tires, this thing will push you off into that grass onto the right, so you got to be careful. All the way to the left. You can take the first part of it a little bit wide, but you want to make sure you're angling to the inside to leave Oak Tree here, and they set you down to the longest part of the track here that you're on the throttle, all the way down the backstretch here. Good opportunity to get a little bit of drafting, maybe a pass out if you get a good exit out of Oak Tree. You're going to bypass again the entrance to the infield right there to the right. But you gotta be ready because you're about to go onto the roller coaster here. Stay to the left, hard turn to the right if the car lets you, and then down through, grabbing a couple gears. It can get a little bit light right here as you're kind of going up and over some of these little undulations here down through Hog Pen, and that is your lap around VIR.
It's a very technical track, as you can see the car driving around there, and car shifting back and forth, left and right, kind of elevation changes as well. So G's really working either for or against you here. You better know the track fairly well and how well your car can handle. As Carl went down kind of an idea who's out there tonight. But Christopher Hamilton and Mason Smith will be starting on the front row, followed with Alex Zart and Craig Jancic there in row number 2. So yeah, it's going to be a good one here, as our usually the top contenders that we're looking at pretty much most races, unless something happens. But you never know what's going to happen, and with some newer drivers out here, they might come shining through.
It looks like maybe some issues for some reason. I mean, this is not a newer track. They haven't done a new scan or anything like that, but maybe it's so old, SDK doesn't have the track map for this thing. So you have to try and get iOverlay to maybe up and work here. I'm sure iOverlay may have the track map for us here. At least give us a picture of what these drivers are tackling here tonight. But I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. As the field coming down the backstretch here, getting ready for 45 minutes of action here for round number 9 here at CSRL. A quick look at the standings. Let me go live. Yep, there we go. So we won't get a look at the standings. We'll talk about the standings during the races. They're coming through the Hog Pen right now, and that pace car is in. It's time to go racing here at VIR. As we'll see Barney up here on the left-hand side, and it looks like we do have a track map for iOverlay, so I'll get that up here in a second. But we are racing here at VIR. Chris Hamilton gets a good start there. The pole position on the right-hand side because of the hairpin here for the start. Mason Smith trying to keep with him on the outside, side by side right there with Alex Zart in the Ferrari here tonight, as Zart is just going to sneak on by and take up second position right there. Mason Smith back to third. Craig Jancic in fourth position, but plenty of battling back here. Tyler Torville side by side with Bryce Reiner, top running gold driver right now, and a good start for Torville just outside the top 5, but head for the first time through Snake.
Yeah, it's a windy, twisty road. They got to figure it out quick to kind of get single file, and let their tires warm up, Carl, before you start making any kind of crazy moves and kind of settle in. Got 45 minutes here. It's a decent amount of time. So looking forward to seeing you see some of the drivers going off the turn there, obviously with tight cars, and that's just kind of what happens. But plenty of runoff here tonight, and it definitely won't be the end of your night if you get off track just a little bit. Just might be set you back if you're wrong spot at the wrong time.
You see, it's like Jancic back there in fourth place. Did run off a little bit, but he's trying to both clean those tires off and trying to warm up here a little bit to get going. It looks like a few cars just breathing a off the track a little bit through South Bend, which can happen certainly a lot. But it looks like for the most part, the field made it through at least 75% of the track here, coming through again the hog pen to finish this lap off. Christopher Hamilton will complete the first lap as your leader. Alex Zart, Mason Smith, Craig Jancic, Bryce Reiner for the top 5. Then you got Tyler Torville, Sylvain Madrigal, Noah Bourgeau, Dave Tilford, Jason Phillips for your top 10.
Yeah, so far so good. Kind of uneventful. Just a bunch of small off tracks here and there. People, obviously cutting the apex as tight as possible or drifting out just a little bit, but I haven't seen anybody slow up just yet.
Trying to get the eye overlay up here in the meantime, but it's been a pretty good start here. Looks like maybe a little bit of an issue for Gagliano, or maybe just a smidge of an off track. Nope, it definitely got a little bit squirrely coming out of the last couple corners there, and nosed it into the tires just a little bit there. Shouldn't be too much damage, if any. And so we'll get this thing back going.
Just kind of out front right now, early here at Virginia. Obviously, you see Alex Hart and Mason Smith not too far behind. Craig Chancic sitting back there in P number 4, so gonna have to battle there with his teammate Bryce as he pulls side by side. And actually, it looks like Craig dropping back.
Jancic maybe having some trouble getting the Mustang tires up to snuff here on these first couple laps. Didn't see any kind of issues off track other than when he went through South Bend, but pretty interesting paint scheme on one of the newer gold drivers here, Noah Bourgeau, as he's got the Dale Earnhardt scheme there on the 26. That's something you're used to seeing here in a GT3 car for sure.
I mean, one of the most popular drivers of all time, and obviously he left the racing series a little bit too early and unexpected, of course. So I don't think anybody's ever going to let the number 3 die. That was quite a few years ago that he's not even going to be around with us anymore. But had his son out there carrying the torch for quite some time, and Junior doing things here with iRacing and keeping things going with the racing world, and hopefully a small force or strong force to maybe wrangle back in the NASCAR series and make it more appealing to people. Because right now I don't think it's doing that great, to be honest.
There we go. Now we got ourselves a little track map there, as of course grabbing the wrong thing here, but we got a track map. We'll make it a little bit smaller and a little more palatable for everybody to see, but at least you can see roughly where the cars are out there on the track. Chris Hamilton still leading the way, running some pretty good laps up there. It was kind of hot and heavy, and really tested these drivers here during the qualifying. Obviously, the qualifying that they've been doing, you get the 15 minutes of open qualifying, and it can get really nerve-wracking, especially on a track like this. It's hard enough getting around here without making a single mistake, because you make one mistake and that lap is deleted immediately. But here, you got other cars that you need to get around and maneuver around. And for a while, we've seen a lot of different drivers at the top of the standings, but it all shook out to Chris Hamilton getting the win. Take a look back here further in the field. Devin Young, lowest running platinum driver right now, back here in 24th, trying to make a move here on Antonio Avendano Diaz back in the series. A late move there, as looks like we had another driver off. I think that might have been Anthony Hutchinson off the track in the 2. And not sure if Ace Motorsports got some, looks like they got some fresh paints out there. They got some orange and black paint schemes here, at least on Anthony Hutchinson here tonight, but it didn't exactly work out there. Getting ready to break into turn number 1, gonna lose a few positions.
Yeah, mix up the paints just a little bit, and how can I know? Orange is my favorite color.
It is for my son Colton as well. It was his favorite color as well, and I've said it so many times that these drivers out here, there's so much time that can go into some of these paints, and certainly when you get a good one, it's hard to go away from it. I know you, Jimmy, have made a few paint schemes for our CRN cars for the special events, and I mean, if I get into any of those cars, that's the paint I'm running, first of all. But I mean, some of them, I know you can probably take them and do some different things to them, make them even better, but I'm happy with the way they are. And it's sometimes you get kind of stuck. You do a paint scheme so good, it's hard to do anything better.
Yeah, sometimes it's pretty tough there, but it looks like, who is that? It was P28.
Ian Wilson.
No, I ran a dilemma, lost his bumper.
Well, that was why right here. Yeah, Ian Wilson swiping left, right across. Was that Devin Young? No.
Devin Young. Devin Young's the one missing the bumper on the front.
Look at Devin Young here. He looks fine. So yeah, not sure what the case is, but either way, looks like everybody's still out there running. I don't see anybody taking to the pits right now. It looks like we did have 33 cars for the session here, as Steve Santana not taking the green flag here tonight. But out front, Chris Hamilton holding it down right now in his Mercedes. Again, kind of surprised that Zart not in the Mercedes himself, but maybe the Ferrari doing a little bit better here for him, as he's up there in second place. Mason Smith in third, Bryce Reiner, Tyler Torville for the top five. That's right, I haven't said Craig Jancic yet, because he's back here in seventh position. Not the start that he wanted, or maybe it is. Maybe he's slow playing this thing. Maybe he's working on a fuel strategy that he feels is going to work here tonight. Maybe he's going to go for a no-stopper. You know, who knows how this thing plays out, but most likely everyone will have to make one pit stop in this race for 45 minutes.
Yeah, you know they have to make at least one stop. They never have enough fuel to make it without stopping at least once. You know, whether it's on lap one to top it off to make it the rest of the way, they usually have to go, do a few laps and then enter the pit. So they're gonna get that pit lane time. They're gonna get the pit time, and it's just kind of how much fuel and or if they want tires and stuff like that. So some things to kind of think about when you're racing here. This track obviously has a lot of ups and downs, and you can abuse your tires quite easily, either diving down in the corners or trying to get in the throttle too much and working a lot of that grip off them right and left rear tires. But team goes so far, it is a little strange seeing Craig Jancic back at PW7, but it just kind of gives you the quality of drivers that's out there with them. They races week in and week out. Savannah Montecarlo up there, Tyler Torville, Bryce Reiner, Mason Smith, Alex Ark, Chris Hamilton, all in front of Craig Jancic here tonight. But yeah, I mean, the competition's high here at CSRL, and you're looking for some good, clean, hard racing. Some good car counts for sure. Check them out. If you can't get in touch with them, Jim Dutton's the man in charge, but like I said, if you can't get in touch with them, you can hit us up and we'll lead you in the right direction if you want to race with the boys here at CSRL.
Yeah, as you've seen earlier, there was actually a Renault Dilemma that had the front end damage, just bringing in the 82 to get some work done, and he is back out there. Got nice clean track in front of him for sure, as looking here at Anthony Hutchinson trying to make his way back up through there, but definitely want to give some love to Todd Torville, as I feel like for a couple of times now we've had other drivers that we thought were in the silver division and just marked incorrectly on the overlays here. And Todd Torville, the winner last week, and is leading it right now by about 2 seconds over Ian Wilson, as the 911 looking to go back-to-back in the silver division. Looks like Devin Young going to bring in the 15 here as well. I mean, only 11 minutes into this race, but it could be a situation where maybe he's feeling held up. You pit now, get back out there and get some clean air. I mean, you see pretty much all the cars on one corner of the track, so if you pit from mid-pack or further back, you should come out there with plenty of clean air to get some good hot laps in, and maybe short pit 2, 3, 4 guys that were in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at about a minute and 45, 46 seconds to, get around the track here. So if you come in, you basically put yourself back, anywhere between, 40 and probably 55 seconds, between driving in the pits and getting the service and coming back out. So, you can put yourself in some pretty clean air. Really depending on where you're at, and if you got the other drivers holding you up, you could make some time up when it's there, when those drivers turn to come in and take their pit stops.
Seen Jancic lock it up into Oak Tree that time by, so he's whether he's playing a long game or not, he's certainly not without mistakes here tonight. VAR kind of ate him up here a little bit as we're looking at his teammate Bryce Reiner in 4th place, holding off gold division leader right now, the gold class leader Tyler Torville. So we got I promise you it's not a typo up there on the top of the screen. Torville is leading the gold and Torville is leading the silver. That is absolutely correct, but it's Tyler Torville leading in the gold and Todd Torville leading in the silver, and at least he was coming back on the track. We'll take a look at what happened here. You can see Trent Blaylock was off the track and right across in front of his teammate and cost Torville the lead as he's going to slip back here a little bit. Lost the position here to Jay Little. We'll go back live here and see definitely a little bit of a damage on the front there. Looked like Jim Dutton. It's not the way this track points there, Jim, as he's going to get the pink Porsche turned back around. Take a look at what happened to Jim here. Oh, battling with Hutchinson, and both of them get sent off into the barrier. Hutchinson looked like he got some damage on the side of that one as well. Dutton's gonna maybe sneak away with this one, but a little bit of action going on here at VIR for sure.
I mean, it's dangerous. I mean, out there to kind of get them cars going, and you're trying to get runs on your fellow league mates here, and to just kind of, you have to put somebody in an uncomfortable position, and you're also putting yourself in an uncomfortable position here, Carl. A lot of this, obviously there's multiple lanes that you can kind of take around here, and there's a few spots that are better than others to pass. But the track is super technical and apexes, and is really what you need to do, and get in and out. One of the big ones is obviously down the front straightaway, trying to get things to work. And a lot of drivers will have one side inside, one outside, and then they'll try to do a crossover on the exit. So I mean, everybody's always trying something, trying to get things to work here. But been a good one so far right now. Christopher Hamilton out front over Alex Zart. Mason Sweet sits in P03. Bryce Reiner's in 4th. Tyler Torville is in 5th. And then Salvani is back there in 6th. Craig Jancic's in 7th. Notch is in 8th. And Jason Phillips in 9th. And Jonathan Ogden back there in P number 10. Woo!
Thank everyone for tuning in here tonight. Take a look here one more time. Looks like Jancic. Oh, Jancic off the road here, getting shoved off the road. And man, the hits just keep on coming here for the 88 back there in 8th position now. But as I was saying, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, a little bit different being in background traffic, whether it's checking up or somebody in your back bumper a little bit more often. So, a little bit different position. Craig's, obviously does a great job of, being out front and leading and getting some great finishes. But today's going to work his way through the field a little bit. So just maybe a little being a little uncomfortable, not happy with how the car feels at this track, or maybe it felt better during practice, whatever it may be. But he's going to go ahead and bring that car in here for some service.
It looks like all of a sudden track map wants to work here for SDK, so I guess we'll just go ahead and use that. You see the numbers a little bit bigger there on your screen, but I don't know what's going on. Either way, we'll go ahead and get rid of the I overlay track. Big track, little numbers for my overlay. It's at least something, but either way, we are back to running here. It looks like Jason Phillips off the track there a little bit with the Mercedes, going to get it back on there. We're losing a few positions. Tyler Torville again leading the way here in the gold division, and he's got a couple cars in between him and Noah for second place in the gold. Jonathan Ogden in third, Dave Tilford in fourth. We mentioned earlier the point standings coming in as it is. Try and make it a little bigger here. Actually, no, grabbing the wrong thing. Well, we'll get back to you on that as we'll get this thing sorted out here, as it's just completely across my entire screen now. So it is it's some good battling all the way through this track, and I mean, again, it's very few and far that we see cars kind of wreck out of this unless they make contact with each other in one or two of the corners. You kind of come up on the walls very quickly. Other than that, it's a lot of runoff, and it's just a lot of having to fight your way to get back to the track, because you can get sent off in some spots where you almost kind of have to look at a track map to see where the heck you are.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting sent off in the grass and then you don't know where you're at. Like, and then next thing you know, you're driving the wrong direction, you get disqualified, and you know, you need to come up and visit CSRL on YouTube so you can see the rest of the race. I mean, it happens, and it's, you know, the track being, you know, you kind of get sent out there. There's a few tracks that are worse than this one, though, Carl, where, you know, you're really kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and if you get spun around a few times going across the grass, you really don't know where you're at. So it's not hard to get a quick DQ and have to sit on the sidelines for the rest of the night.
All right, so now I do have the point standings up here to give you guys a quick rundown out there. As you got Eric Black is leading the silver division by 10 points over Todd Torville, but with Todd Torville has been running out there lately. He's looking to move up into that top spot, especially with Eric Black not in attendance, and I don't believe I see Bill Burrell out there as well. So it could be a nice night here for Todd Torville. That is your top three, only separated by 12 points over the top three. In the gold division, it is David Tilford up by 2 points over Tyler Torville. We'll see how they are on the track right now. Torville in fourth, Tilford back there in eighth. So it could be a switch of the standings there with Frank Pisano, Cesar Colon Torres, and Stephen McLean for your top five. In the platinum division, it is a 14-point lead for Craig Jancic over Mason Smith. But right now, Mason's got Craig where he wants him. Not having a good time here. Looks like Jancic came into the pits on lap 9 to maybe you know, fix some damage, maybe fix himself, and try and figure this thing out for the second half of this race. Christopher Hamilton only another 3 points back, so really kind of the top three separating themselves. Alex Zart still in the mix in the fourth, but a few more points back as he's 33 points back of the leader. And then Bryce Reiner for your top five heading into tonight's race. And really only a couple races left in this season. Obviously here tonight we got VIR, and then we head over to Germany for the Hockenheim GP, and then round number 11, the final round, is going to go back to the States to Indy for the 2-hour season finale.
2 hours at Indy, and it's something that I would think about as we have a doubleheader here on Wednesday nights, Carl. So I need to give a heads up.
Yeah, well, might need all hands on deck for that one, and we'll see if we can bring the other broadcasting team in here as well, and kind of you know, mix it up here to get that in and done. As it's definitely it's nice. I believe they do have double points for the season finale here as well, so that definitely brings a few more drivers up there in with a chance to win each of these classes. But still leading the race out here, but not by much. He hasn't been able to break away. Christopher Hamilton in lead, Alex Zart, Mason Smith, your top three covered by 1.2 seconds, and then 7.3 back to Tyler Torville in fourth place. Bryce Reiner for your top five. Then you got Jonathan Ogden, Dave Tilford, Frank Pisano, Cesar Colon Torres, and Herbert Pineda for your top 10.
Yeah, 21 laps, or 21 laps, 21 minutes in already so far. You know, they're on, let's see, lap 12 so far, so I think they've been having a pretty good race so far, as technical as it is. I do know that they leave the ability for, especially some of the newer drivers, if you're new to the track or whatever, they leave the line on, or the ability to click on the driving line, which is not necessarily the best line in the world, but it definitely might give you some key indicators that oh, you need to turn left or there's a turn coming. So just another visual kind of cue for some drivers, but something they leave on for some of the tricky tracks that they might come to. So kind of maybe one of the reasons why they do so well on some of the tracks, or some of the newer guys are doing well on some of the newer tracks. But I know in the past, call a brand new track, something super windy, bendy, something like that new track that they called the Bend. Definitely brought it out for a lap or two just to kind of get my bearings on, like, oh, I need to turn left here and I need to turn right here, and instead of turn left and then there's another left coming, but I think it's a right, and then next thing I know I'm on the wrong side of the car and I'm traveling through the grass. But so just something like that to kind of get your bearings. And I know a lot of drivers, newer drivers will do that. And the thing is not to keep it on, like using it every day, because you can develop bad habits. Or I shouldn't say bad habits, just habits that aren't fast.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
at tracks like this where it seems like, again, it seems like it's built in the middle of a field, and you make a left-hand turn, all of a sudden you're going down through town instead of into pit lane. So it's good to have it on a track like this, because there's very few markers that kind of let you know what the track is actually even doing. But it's there as a guide. It's not the fastest line, and it's there to let you know roughly where you need to be braking, roughly where you need to be turning in, and things like that. But once you know the track layout, it should be turned off as soon as possible, in my opinion, because you need to start learning the different ways to take those turns, the different ways that can gain you a tenth of a second here or there, and or maybe just feels a little bit smoother going through those corners. You got to experiment. You can't just fall in love with one line. You got to get out there and try different things. One, to see what's actually faster, but two, because it could be a situation like right here between Jonathan Ogden and Dave Tilford side by side through a corner. All of a sudden, you got to take to the outside of the corner, and you don't know how it handles.
Yeah, it's one of the few things where you kind of need that traffic, those drivers around you, in order to get better. So that's why some people are like, oh, I don't like VIR, or I don't like such track, but you don't get any better practice than going out there and racing with your league mates. And everybody's there's probably somebody else out there in the same boat. Whether they just bought the track. VIR was one of the. I know it's been around for a long time, Carl, but I haven't owned it very long. Maybe less than a year. And I've been racing on iRacing for about 5, so it was like one of the few tracks I just kept putting off, because nobody was really coming here, and I wasn't running any races that were here. So, but we've been here a few times now. It is a lot of fun. A little difficult at first, but once you learn it, you can really kind of crank out some good old laps. Right now, best time in 145s. Somebody might be having some issues. The best lap might be down in the 150. So a lot of areas that you can work on here. But pit road's been busy here. A couple drivers coming in and out as we cross that over that 25-minute mark. So only 20 minutes remaining here at VAR.
And while we got a chance here, as pit road's starting to get busy here right now, looks like the top 8 have yet to come in. We'll go ahead and crank up the boys here for the Casual Sim Racers League GT3 Series. Give everyone out there in CR Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
now. Car 6 is now leading. The leader's pitting now. We're in a great spot for some hardware.
Sights and sounds here of the Casual Sim Racers League GT3 series, and looking at some close battles here as you've seen Cesar Colon Torres giving us a little light show there, following Stephen McLean trying to move himself up into 11th position. Chris Hamilton still leads the way by half a second over Alex Zart. Mason Smith in 3rd place. Close battle here between 4th, 5th, and 6th, as you got Bryce Reiner right now in 4th, Tyler Torville in 5th, top running Gold Division driver, and then Craig Jancic, your Platinum Championship leader right now in 6th position. So in a race that, you know, Craig probably wanted to get out here and do well enough to maybe stretch out his lead and have a little bit easier time breathing in these last couple races. Not working out the way at all.
No. He's going to have the battle here to the end. I'm seeing Craig Jancic was in on lap number 9.
Yeah, the short bit not really working out. Kind of just staying stagnant just outside the top 5 here all night. Got to give it to Tyler Torville. He's putting it down here, battling with the top guys here in the Platinum Division, Platinum class. And he's kind of shown the speed all season. I don't know if it's the switch to the Lamborghini, if it's all the help that he's maybe getting with the new team over there with the Ace Motorsports, or what it is, but Torville's kind of, like, I should say Tyler Torville first. We'll talk about him, showing a lot of great speed here this entire season. I mean, he's been in a heck of a battle with Dave Tilford for the top spot in the Gold Division. But you kind of say the same thing about Todd Torville as well. As Kyle Cobbler off the track here just a bit. But Todd Torville, kind of same thing. Kind of looking to go back to back here with another top spot finish here in the Silver Division, Silver class, back here in 24th. And he's got about 10.5 second lead over 2nd place Ian Wilson, which Ian Wilson, gotta give to him as well. He's certainly he has his moments where you can kind of see the rookiness or the newness kind of shining through and making some mistakes, but a pretty good race out here tonight in the McLaren.
McLaren was a pretty tricky car tonight, Carl. I got out there, and that's the car I was kind of doing some test laps with, and the car is really snappy as it is, especially in the higher RPMs with the McLaren. So to kind of get it down to the point where you're not losing the rear end all the time is pretty tough. You got to be super consistent here, and Mason Smith doing a great job, obviously, and a few of the others that are driving the McLarens out there. But you can see the McLarens, the majority of them are towards the back of the pack, so having some issues. Jay Little, Devon Young, Solani Madigra, all having issues. Ian Wilson even back there in P number 26. Not that, they're not having the race. I'm sure they're not enjoying themselves. Simon Sierra, they're back there, and P number 18. Another one of the McLarens, obviously it's a very touchy car when it comes to getting in the throttle. A track like, Virginia here, where the car's kind of shifting back and forth, and it does fairly well there, but it's, that throttle application that can really snap around really easy.
Mason Smith has been putting down some solid laps here lately, and I don't think his chances of winning this thing are certainly out of the realm of possibility at this point. As the iRacing logo here for a second, you see what he's been doing here for the top. Show me that one. There we go, for the top 3 right there. As he's been gaining on both Hamilton and Smith these last couple laps, but it's good lap times. It's caught him back up to the back of this battle for first place, which has been just within a half a second this entire race. Christopher Hamilton has led the entire way, other than the pit cycle. Alex Zart not going away though, and even closing in a little bit closer here to Hamilton, as we're coming up to, say, probably the last 2 laps of this race.
Yeah, they're just doing a great job here tonight. They always have great battles here up front, of course. Obviously, battles back there, and 5th, 6th, and 7th, 4th, 5th, and 6th. There's a battle back there in 9th. There's a battle back in 14th, and then people are pretty spread out the rest of the way around the track. So a few good battles still brewing here at the track. 5 minutes to go. Like you said, Chris Hamilton out front over Alex R. Mason Smith sitting there in P3. And Bryce Reiner, Craig Jancic for your top 5. And then you see the biggest mover of the race, Caesar. Nope. Ran it. Milham back there and P 20 up 13 spots.
Remember, he was the one that had it was Ian Wilson swipe across his front nose and take off the front bumper. He had to bring it in to get fixed. So definitely a good bounce back here for the 82. Riding on board here with Alex Zart, and I mean, Jimmy, what's he got to do here on these last couple of laps to try and get around Chris Hamilton? He's been following him this whole race. Does he, you know, at some point, does he have to try and make an aggressive move? Does he have to try and maybe fake out Chris, or what does he need to do to try and get this pass done, or are you just kind of stuck where you're at?
A very hard track to kind of pass on. He's got to get a really good run out of those last final corners, and Chris has just been nailing his marks. So like, you know, to kind of get a run on Chris Hamilton, just kind of, he has to get himself uncomfortable. If you want the win, you're going to have to put yourself uncomfortable. You got to put yourself uncomfortable. You got to put Chris uncomfortable, and that might open the door for Mason Smith to kind of eat it up. So, but it is all on kind of Alex Zart right now. If he wants to get around, he's not going to do it. It's not going to be easy. No way, shape, form. You know, no shape or form for him, because of just how difficult this track can be. It's difficult to pass here. So, looking forward to see if he can get it done. But it's getting near that time. I'm gonna have to catch my flight. I gotta head over to pit lane. Excuse me, pit road speed limit racing, and get ready over there, as we're gonna have a double header here tonight at CRN, and they'll be getting ready to run them cars as well. So I wish everybody the best of luck here as finishing up, and like I said, I get things started. So good luck to everybody. So I'm going to see how this thing finishes out as Carl wraps everything up.
Yep, I'll be over there as soon as this thing wraps up. As once again, our doubleheader on Wednesday nights, starting off here at CSRL on the road side of it, and then I'll be heading over to Nashville. So just heading a little bit west to the Nashville Super Speedway here. Should be a quick flight in between here and there to get our second half of the doubleheader done. But coming through the final corners here, we'll see possibly the white flag coming out this time by, as it's close on time. We'll have to keep an eye out for Marnie, see if he's waving that white flag as we come on by. Chris Hamilton still leading the way. Alex Zart, Mason Smith still right there with a chance, as not seeing anything there. As let's see if maybe I can see anything in the pit lane. Lane 2, nope, not really seeing anything at all, but should be very close. If this isn't the last lap, it's 2 laps to go here, so it's kind of do or die time if Zart wants to get up there and battle it out. Mason Smith certainly would like to get up there as well. Jancic has moved past Tyler Torville. He's moved past Bryce Reiner, and now he's back up to 4th position, and it's not what Mason Smith or Chris Hamilton want to see. They had a nice 2-3 car buffer there, and they're not going to battle him tonight for top 3, but it was a chance that they could pick up, you know, a good amount of points here at VA Hardware. It looks like Jancic kind of rectifying his bad start here, finishing off strong. Could have some lap traffic coming up very soon for our leaders. Ian Wilson right there, still running in 2nd in the silver class. So, and I'm not sure he's just going to roll over and let these drivers go on by, but he's got nobody really close in front of him, and nobody that's that close behind him. Jay Little is back, I believe, maybe 1 lap down from Ian Wilson. But leaders coming up, they will get the wave around past Ian Wilson and head on down into the roller coaster one more time. Hamilton still staying in the lead. Zart still staying all over his back bumper. Mason Smith right there as well. The top 3 covered by less than 3/4 of a second. Out of the final corner, you'll get the telltale signs if this was the final lap. If Hamilton's flashing his lights, I don't see it. So it should be white flag this time by, as we'll try and jump on board here, maybe with Craig Jansen. Maybe we'll see off on the right-hand side just to get a confirmation either way. This should be the white flag. And now you see Barney up there waving that white flag here. Last lap here tonight at VIR. Hamilton still leads the way. Going now into left hook and heading off into Snake for one final time. 64 has been dominant here tonight, but only dominant in the fact that he's got the clean air and he's been out front the entire time. He hasn't just checked out from anybody. I think the biggest lead he's had all race was maybe about 0.6 of a second, as Zart has been all over this whole time. And maybe finding some fresh life in that Ferrari, see what he can do maybe for these last couple races. If he's going to go back to the Mercedes, he's going to stick in the Ferrari. But through Oak Tree one final time, Zart gets a good run through there, but a little bit wide and getting the tires off the dirt a little bit there. It's going to hamper his run and maybe his last chance to make a move here on Hamilton down the backstretch and get ready to go into roller coaster one final time. Hamilton has got the edge. Just got to get that thing rotated through the final corners here. And off to Hog Pen one final time. We get another battle that we're about to take a look at here as well. But the winner here tonight gonna go to the 64 of Chris Hamilton, Alex Zart, Mason Smith for your top three. But got a close battle here at the end between 4th, 5th, and 6th. Looks like Jancic is going to hold off Reiner. Tyler Torville going to grab another gold class win here and maybe more, as looked like he was trying to make a move there on Reiner. Just wasn't going to happen. Reiner wasn't having anything of it, but Tyler Torville going to be your gold class winner. Going through Snake one final time. It's going to be a nice, easy drive here for Todd Torville, as he is already locked in as your winner here tonight. Ian Wilson was a lap down, so he's already crossed the line. So Todd Torville going to get it done here in the BMW. So we've seen Mercedes, Lamborghini, and a BMW for your class winners here tonight. Certainly three completely different cars here. But Chris Hamilton is the one who was able to hold off Alex Zart this entire race. It's like Todd Torville trying to get up here in battle, trying to play lock. It looks like play lock is going to pull over and let him get another position here at the end. So teammate action there, helping him out as we finish up the race here tonight. Again, this was round number 9. 2 more rounds left to go. We go to Hockenheim for round number 10, and then 2-hour season finale at Indianapolis. A great drive here from most of these drivers finishing the race and getting it all done here. We had lost a few throughout the race, as Dean Gagliano going to finish in 33rd. Jim Dutton finished back in 32nd. Anthony Hutchison in 31st. Sivani Madrigal and Devin Young back there in 30th and 29th respectively. But everyone else still running here at the end, and just kind of goes to show you what VIR is. It's a track that it can be forgiving, and you can definitely get out there and make a mistake, slide off in the grass. It's going to be a pain to get back on the track, but you can survive this thing. But we'll take a look at your final results as they are now official. So results for tonight's race: Christopher Hamilton wins it by 0.2 of a second over Alex Zart. Mason Smith, Craig Jancic, Bryce Reiner for the top 5, Tyler Torville, Noah Bourgeot, Greg Pisano, Jonathan Ogden, and Dave Tilford for your top 10. Jason Phillips, Cesar Colon Torres, Dan Morera, Stephen McLean, Herbert Pineda, Kyle Cobbler, Christian Ortiz Torres, Javi Sierra, Jonathan Crane, and Glenn Lazan for your top 20. Antonio Avendano Diaz, Todd Torville, Trent Blaylock, Matt Sayer, Ian Wilson, Renan Dilemma, Jay Little, Paul Bailey, Devin Young, Sivani Madrigal for your top 30, and then rest of the field going to be Jim Dutton, Anthony Hutchison, Dean Gagliano, and Steve Santana. We'll get our top drivers in here for their well-earned interviews here in a moment. But before we do, want to send a shout-out and a thanks to all the fans out there tuning in here tonight for CRN. If you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up, give it a little like and subscribe. And also, to our series sponsors here for CSRL, that being 4D Racewear, as they're the makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, while still providing the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products, including the original racing gloves for your feet. For Martin PC, they are focused on providing high-quality PCs, rigs, and components at an affordable price. Your investment in sim racing is exactly the same as racing with an actual car. They take that same methodology at Martin, from the engine PC to the chassis rig, pedals, wheels, and shifter. You deserve components that match your desire to compete. Heck of a race for all the drivers out here tonight, and we're going to get some interviews here before we go ahead and end this one and get ready for the second half of the doubleheader. As we already got our winner here in the broadcast waiting room, so we're just going to go ahead and start at the top and kind of work our way down here. As top spot tonight here, we're going to go to the driver of the 64, Christopher Hamilton. As Chris, if you look at it and look at the laps led, you can say, well, damn, I dominated this race. But if you actually watch the broadcast and you see what went on, you didn't get a chance to breathe this entire race.
I think I finally got a chance to take a breath. Woo!
I mean, what was it like? This track it's just a little different. It's a little funky. I said to Jimmy a couple of times, it just seems like they found a field in the middle of nowhere and threw some pavement down on it, because it's just so much runoff in so many different places. But it's, unless you know which way the track is going, it can kind of be blind in some of these corners.
Yeah, I definitely feel put the track in the middle of nowhere, but then again, there's sound things in the real life track and whatnot. That's neither here nor there. We're in virtual one. I adore this track. I absolutely love this one. Any chance I get to run VIR, I do. And I think I've had laps in Miatas, laps in Jettas, laps in a lot of slower cars, so I think I know my way around here. But yeah, Zart kept me on it. Zart and Mason kept me honest the entire race.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you and Zart were not letting each other go. See, it seemed like you shook Mason off there for a little bit in the first run, but after the pit stops, he went a lap longer and reeled you guys in there at the end. And you guys are probably looking back there and seeing maybe that Craig Jansick was back there out of the top 5 for a while, finished in 4th, but it's got to feel good, points wise, to maybe still have a chance with these last 2 races to go.
Truth be told, I haven't really been paying attention to points. I've been trying to work on driving technique, if you can believe it. Points are in the back of my mind, but that wasn't my goal for this season. My goal for this season was to try to build a new foundation, because I felt like I was kind of dropping off and kind of hit a wall a little bit. I think I'm getting slightly past that. And obviously, these guys test that skill, and it was barely a second, if that, the entire race. So
between the top 3, not just between the top 2. it was kind of crazy how the top 3 just checked out from everybody, and the rest of the field wasn't exactly slouches behind you, but you just had this thing nailed down here tonight, and 3 completely different cars too. I mean, you're out there in the Mercedes, you got Zart in the Ferrari, and then Mason out there in the McLaren. So you guys just had a feel for the track here tonight. So I want to say congrats on the win here. I got 2 more races in the season. We got Hockenheim coming up next week, and then the 2-hour season finale at Indy. What do you think your chances are? Do you like either of the tracks coming up?
Nope.
Well, that's going to do it for interview here tonight. They are 2 kind of finicky tracks for sure coming up.
Yeah, I haven't had the best of luck on either of them, but we'll see. We just got to play it race by race, lap by lap. I tried stuff with fuel and then kind of went back to what worked. I was still saving a little bit towards the end, and once I knew I was good, I put the hammer down.
Hey, listen, this is maybe the first time all season, maybe the first time in the last 2 seasons that you didn't lose a spot in pit road. So you got that going for you.
Hey, we'll take those. Let's go.
So little victories like that to go with the big victories as well. Well, congrats again on your victory here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to send a shout out to or thanks to?
Huge shout out to Ryan McCauley, who painted this fun Genshin Impact one. I hope it's very obvious on the broadcast where I'm at, other than the noise. And this car sticks out like a sore thumb, and I love it that way. Huge shout out to all the guys here at CSRL. They put down it may be casual, but it's serious, and you don't realize it until you're in the car, and then you're side by side with these guys. And thank you for the broadcast, Carl. I don't know where Jimmy is. Hi, Jimmy.
He's off over there getting ready for the for our second broadcast here tonight. But he definitely enjoyed this show while you guys had it here tonight. So once again, congrats on the finish. Let's go celebrate, and maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you next week. You never know.
I hope so.
That is your winner here tonight, the 64 of Chris Hamilton, Platinum Class winner and overall winner. But not second place here tonight, but the next one that we're going to bring in is going to be the first of the two Tourvilles. It's going to be Tyler Tourville getting it done here in the gold division. As Tyler, you had a heck of a run here, and it wasn't just, going for the gold class win. You kind of, walked away from the other gold class competitors here tonight, but it looked like you had other things in mind here. You're battling for a top 5 pretty much this entire race.
Look, I've been racing with CSRL for, I think it's 6 seasons now, and I've been waiting for VIR to finally come up on the schedule. I love this track. I live about an hour from this track. I've been to this track many, many times over many, many years, so I love this track. Anytime a new car comes out on iRacing, this is the track that I test the car on. I love this track. So I was excited when it was on the schedule for this season.
And I can see that. I can see this being kind of a good shakedown type of track because it's got a little bit of everything. It's got your hairpins. It's got your S turns, especially through what I consider both the snakes. I know the first little S section there is considered the snake, but I mean the next little section there is the faster, bigger snake, and it's not exactly easy, especially going through the South Bend there. But you get it done here tonight. You slip back a little bit at the end, but I mean you're also battling up there with platinum drivers. So I mean. Are you already looking at next season thinking that it's going to be platinum? Because it's hard to not put you in platinum the way you've been doing this season.
I mean, I'd like to think that I've been lucky this season, and the next season it'll just be totally the opposite. I mean, if it stays in this format, if I go platinum, I'll never get the chance to speak to you guys ever again. Those guys are consistently fast. I'm not quite there yet.
Maybe not there yet, but I mean, honestly, the difference between even last season and this season is been a bit of night and day. I mean, we've seen you competing decently. Maybe top 10s here and there last season. This season, it seems like top 5s are not out of the realm of possibility week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that recently, and it was kind of where it turned a page for me it was midway through last season when we were at Coda. Something clicked for me there, and I finished 4th in that race. That was the best I'd ever done with CSRL, and then every race after that was pretty darn good. And then I just kept with it, and it's not trying to toot my own horn here, but it's been showing this season, and I'm liking what I've been doing, so hopefully I can keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 2 more races left to do it for this season with a chance to try and grab that gold class title, as well as this is certainly, I'm sure, going to put you back at the top spot heading into the final 2. But before we let you go and get out of here and celebrate this class win, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, thanks to you guys, everyone here at CSRL, everyone over at Ace Motorsports. Congrats to my dad, who you all will be speaking with here in just a moment, for winning silver. And then shout out to my wife, my daughter, mom, anyone else is watching. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the class win here tonight. We'll see if you can get 1 or 2 more before the season ends.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Winner here tonight in the gold division, Tyler Tourville, and the 22. We'll keep it we'll keep it in the family here, and we'll bring in the other Tourville. That is going to be Todd Tourville getting it done. And this time, Todd, we had everything correct in the SDK here, in the overlays, and we knew you were leading the entire way this time. It wasn't a question, and me scratching my head, why is Todd in the waiting room? What did I mess up here? We got you up here, and another dominating performance, and you win the silver class here tonight by a pretty good margin, and you cap it off with, you guys need somebody else from the family to try and take it up there for the platinum division and sweep, Tourville's across the board here.
I tell you what, Tyler's got a little girl that's about 4 that I see her doing this in about 4 or 5 years. so that might be happening.
Well, he's got 4 or 5 years to figure out how to win in platinum, and you got 4 or 5 years to figure out how to win in gold. The way it sounds, if you're going to take all 3.
There you go. Good time though tonight, man. It was a fun race.
So out there in the Beamer again, and it seems like it's been treating you pretty well here this season, and looking to maybe scratch your way back into the points battle here and have a chance at the title, and maybe again, father son taking 2 of the class titles for this season.
Yeah, that would be interesting. It'd be a good time, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know if Tyler mentioned it, but we live real close to VIR. We've been on that track in real life, and it was both of our favorite that we're looking forward to. So we both had a good turnout, and that was cool.
Yeah, he did mention that, and it definitely showed with the speed that both of you had out here tonight to get a nice dominating victory for both of you in the class. So congrats on your win here again, getting to get up here and talk to me again. Yeah, 2 more races left to go. If you live in close to VIR, I know you don't live close to Hockenheim. I know you don't live close to Indianapolis. So, any kind of track knowledge for either of the last 2 tracks to head to that you can maybe carry over and maybe get another class win?
I'm going to have to get some practice in, and we will.
Enough said. Well, congrats again on the class win here tonight. Before we let you go, who do you give a shout out to or thanks to?
I appreciate it. Again, you guys, CSRL, Jim and the crew, we just have such a great time. Of course, my family for allowing me the time to do this, and my wife, and she's downstairs, I'm sure, watching since I'm starting to have a chance.
Now all of a sudden you're good enough to watch. All right.
Yeah, that's it. She used to watch, and then she's like, "Yeah, you're crashing or you're not winning," so she quit and
front runner. Okay, all right.
Yeah, she's one of them fair weather watchers.
Yeah.
But of course, my buddies on Ace Motorsports, man, we have a great time, and I'm so glad we've gotten so many of us over here in the league, and we have a great time getting ready for these races every Wednesday. So it's awesome. We appreciate it.
It's definitely paying off for you guys. So congrats again on another top spot here in class. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family. We'll see you next week at Hockenheim.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Class winner here in this silver class is going to be the 911 of Todd Torville. Biggest mover of the race here tonight is going to go to Cesar Colon Torres. As you're out, we finally get a chance to talk to you, and I know you have on the front of that thing what was it again? This car is angry. This horse is angry. Whatever it is, but you're finally back in there and finally get a chance to talk to us again. But it's not for winning a class just yet. It is maybe still trying to figure out your way up there in the gold division.
Yeah, these guys this season have turned up the pace, and I'm just trying to hang in there. I took out the Mustang for the first time this season and really switched it up on myself, and couldn't believe when I heard that I got the hard charger. It kind of blew my mind because I was just locked in and thinking I was holding it down in the back. It was a rough race for me.
Yeah, trying to get up here and see what it actually was because it's not showing it, but it looks like up 9 positions here as you and looks like you and wait, where is it? It keeps shifting around here. Yeah, there we go. Now up 9 positions. You and Glenn Lazan both up 9 positions for the race, and
Nice.
this is a track where you got the nice long backstretch that you can maybe do a little bit of damage on. You got a couple hard braking zone, maybe even in a turn 1, but other than that, this is kind of a follow the leader type of track. There's not much places to actually make a pass.
No, it was very much a follow the leader type of race, and then once we got into this little cluster where there's a big gap to the guys in the front, and then a middle, we were that middle gap in and in between the little pack back there. It was just a little follow the leader, trade out positions between me, Steven, and Herbert. It was really fun. But yeah, I couldn't get anything done in between them, but it was a great time.
So last two races coming up here, we got Indianapolis and Hockenheim. Hockenheim coming up first, and then a 2-hour season finale at Indianapolis. Given your car choices, is it the Mustang for either of them? None of them? What are you thinking, or you don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet?
I think we're gonna still have. I think we got to bring the horse back out. This horse is a little bit angry, and we got points to make up. So I think we got to bring it back, keep it out here, and bring it back for Hockenheim and Indy.
I mean, it certainly it served you well last year for sure. So we'll see if maybe it brings a little resurgence to you to end off this season. Well, take some time, celebrate this one, up 9 spots after qualifying back there in 20th. So congrats on the run up through the field, getting the Chris Burrell Hard Charger Sandbagger Award tonight. So before we let you go and head out of here, who you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Thank you to my girlfriend and my family and everyone that has helped me on the journey to get here. Thank you to you guys, and thank you to CSRL for hosting these races. You guys are everyone. I love you all, and thank you for everything.
Well, we appreciate it, as well as a good drive for you out there, and certainly got some good views. I think it was during the love to hear it section, looking back at the front of that thing. So congrats again. Let's go celebrate. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you, man. Have a good night.
You too. That is your Hard Charger / Sandbagger Award winner, the Chris Burrell Award winner here tonight. Finishing up there in 11th, starting back there in 20th, a nice little 9 spot here to move himself up. Glenn Lazan also up 9 spots after starting back there in 27th, finished up there in 18th. So a good run for the number 69 as well. That is going to do it for us here at VIR, as this was a good one here, and we got to see quite a good battle up front. Once again, a 3-car breakaway at the front, but there's battles all throughout the field and some great racing out there. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I'm going to hop over there and join Jimmy at Nashville Super Speedway. Hopefully we see some of you over there as well. But for myself and Jimmy here for the CSRL broadcast, we'll see you at the track.